What's going on, guys? It's Flaws, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to hold a site solo. We're going to start with this A site over on Bind. Just a good site that's really difficult to kind of hold solo if you don't know what you're doing. The first thing and the most important thing is just know what character you're playing. If you're playing a duelist, you're probably going to be playing a little bit more of an aggressive angle, just looking for information, or you're playing in like a weird angle where you can get one or two and then you'll probably die if they hit the site. I mean, that's more than enough if you're completely soloing the site. Just kind of think of what your agent is for. If they're for like smokes, you can play here. Once you see something, you can smoke this area so that they don't get a lot of space and just kind of deny space for them. If you're playing a sentinel like Killjoy or maybe even Cypher, you can just put like something to gather information. Like if I don't actually use this one that much, but you did something like that, or you put it up there. That way you can see if anyone comes into this back lamp area. I don't know why it's called lamps, but in this area, then you'll at least see them. Yeah, I can put it like backside, I can put it here, I can put it pushed up in showers area like this, and then just play in this area so that I know that this area is at least covered if people are rotating back into the site on my team. But just kind of keep in mind what character you're playing and what your role is while you're defending the site solo. If you're playing Raze, you could obviously just sit back here, jump spot this, just kind of like do jiggle peeks. Once they actually hit the site, just play safe. Doesn't really matter too much. Just throw a nade over the top there and just get some damage on the other team and maybe stop a plant. You're just trying to delay when you're solo a site. It's a little different if it's like a 2v2. Obviously you're trying to like get a lot of info, maybe play with your teammate if you can. If you split up on defense side in like low number situations, it's kind of not the best. But obviously depends how the round plays out, what your kind of goal in the round is. If you're even able to let your teammate get back into the round, like maybe you're right here, you get like a free kill on a person planning, or it's a 2v2, you hear the plant, you look for the person not planning, then snap down and get that free kill. You can fall back off and then wait for your team to come back till it's a 2v1 for that last person. Also think about your utility. Like if I have, let's say I have KJ out here, I don't really need to play this site. Like in that instance, like the goal of the round would be kind of like let them take, I don't know, the front of site, get the plant down and wait for my team to rotate back in. I could just push them off with this. I don't know exactly where I'd place that, maybe like here. And that way you just know that the area is going to be clear on site when you come back into it. If you're just someone who can throw smokes or blinds, keep that in mind. You can use those to delay while they're hitting the site. You're basically just trying to make sure your team has as much space as possible or has the easiest time rotating back in. So keep that in mind. Sometimes it's not worth it to actually fight for a kill when there's 3 or 4 people swinging you. It might just be helpful to like get some spam down, try to stall them just a little bit so that your team can rotate in. It's a lot worse if you die and your team rotates in, because at least if you're alive, your teammates know that they can run all the way to here. They can get through this choke point. If you're just holding backside like this, or maybe you're even in hookah just holding this area, that's so much more value than if you get 1 kill and then instantly get traded and die. Then your team can't rotate back through this area. They can't rotate through heaven. Like if the other team doesn't kill you and they smoke heaven, that like is kind of useless for the other team because they have to still fight this whole back of site area. If they do kill you and smoke heaven, your team might slow down a lot on the retake. They might not have time to defuse at the end of the round. They have to wait for the smoke heaven. They don't know if someone's watching it from here. But obviously if you're playing this area right here, just holding showers, it doesn't really matter what site. Let's go to B just so like you can kind of put the concept to different sites. It doesn't just have to be for the A site over here. Like here, you can be holding long, hold a pixel angle on long, hold a better angle for here. You see something move long, or you can do it like this. Pretty generic things. Like if I'm playing here, I'm listening for any sounds of anyone hitting hookah, because it's pretty hard to get out silently, and if they do, it's not very common that they would just jump out of here. I think you can technically do that silently and then like immediately come check this. That's just like a weird play for them. So just keep that in mind. Like talk to your teammates. If I'm playing Killjoy, it's a lot easier, but talk to your teammates, be like, hey, they could sneak out B, watch out on the rotate. and then you just play a weird angle like this. You hear them jumping out, say, oh, like there's 2 at B, start rotating over, but like guns out, come over here, the person starts planning, you get a free kill, transfer the person planning. You can even just kind of sit right here after you get those kills. You don't have to commit to more fights, and just kind of take those kills and delay even longer, like just cause chaos for the other team. They're like, here, someone just died planning. This person that's playing in hookah, if they're playing safe, might feel like they have to jump out, and like now they're split between fighting 180 degrees of angles of fights. They could have to fight elbow, long, and CT. So that makes it a lot more confusing, but you're just trying to be like a nuisance. Don't be the hero in the round. If you're like a solo site, you're basically playing so that the other site's a lot safer. If you do hear stuff come in, just play the retake. If you have very low utility, like your team's not doing good on the buy, that could be like a little bit more of a reason to actually fight for kills. Like you could be like playing a closer angle like this, give them the site if you have to, but just kind of understand, like, is it really worth it to take a fight against 4 people if I'm playing right here? Probably not. Most of the time you're probably just going to die, and they're just going to take more of the site than they probably could have if you just maybe got some spam out and then fell back. So always keep this in mind. If you're going to be playing solo site, it's a lot more difficult than playing with a teammate by far. But if you're playing with a teammate, it's pretty similar concepts. Just know what each other are holding, know where your like gaps in the defense are. Just communicate, guys. Like that's the biggest thing. Just understand where your team's playing, what they're watching, and be a good teammate when you are like playing with someone else. Don't just play for your own 1v1 duels like up here at the start of the round, and then it pops open, you're like taking fights. Like, but if you get a kill, what good does that do your team in the round? Nothing really. Like, if you get a kill here, there's probably someone that's gonna swing if they are gonna hit the site, and a trade for like right here is way more beneficial to the attacking team, unless you like stack the site or something. So keep that in mind. It's like the very just generic basics of holding a site with teammates. I know we were talking about actually holding it solo, but defensively, like, just play for information. Don't try to be a hero in the round. Always wait for your teammates and just try to stall as much as possible. Those are like the big takeaways here. Rotating out of a solo site is a little bit different because you're not rotating like a normal round where if someone calls like a big hit, just kind of stay at your solo site. You're not going to rotate until you know for a fact the spike's there. Bind's kind of a weird map where they could TP, but on other maps, like if they call a spike on the other site, then it's a lot more like, it's a lot more reasonable to rotate if they call the spike, because that means they're probably going to hit the site, or they already have committed to hitting the site over there. But if you don't see the spike, they just call like, oh, there's like some noise over on my side, like some noise over on B, but they have 3 there. They should be able to hold that, or at least do enough damage for you to rotate back in. So just keep holding, keep jiggling, keep just getting information for your team. Don't have to like leave the site and then they go, oh, actually, no, it's not. You come back here, someone peek showers, kills you. Don't over rotate, don't get too quick. You are the anchor of that site. You being alive when they hit is way more important for the retake than if you just give the site completely or you die and they know that you're the solo person on the site. Communication, keep that up always, like I already said. Just always let your teammates know, like, I don't hear anything, or hey, they could creep out lamps right now, I'm not really watching it, I missed the timing. That way when your teammates do rotate in, they're not like this, knife out, coming in here thinking that you're watching something that there could have been a gap in timing there. So keep that in mind, guys. If you have any questions on how to play a specific site, let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.